What's up, guys? Welcome to J&J Houston Sportscast. My host, John, is indisposed, so I will be doing this, but he will join us shortly. He's getting things together, but welcome, guys. I'm gonna wait for at least 10 to get in here to kind of start it off. And as it says, the signing of Matt Khalil along with Jadeveon Clowney rumors. Baseball starts pretty quick. I think tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So we got a lot of stuff we'll go over. But for the time being, just gonna sit here and wait for more people to come in. We have a lot of things that I personally want to talk about in regards to Houston. I want to hear about just different things. I don't understand contracts and what Game does with contracts yet. His contract signings seem a little up and down. There's really no consistent. At least with Rick Smith, there's consistency there. But we'll wait for some more people to get in here before we get started. So um, other than that, that's all I got. On another note, I plan on doing covering the draft. Draft is coming at the end of April. John and I are definitely going to do it live. We just need to work out the details on where where we're going to do it live from. Me personally, I want to do a live from like some kind of sports bar or something like that. Just somewhere we can just all meet and just kind of go through things. We'll invite you subscribers out there and stuff like that, and we'll talk with y'all and to get y'all's little feedback on everything. But that's the goal. But we're definitely going live during the draft. No questions asked. It doesn't matter what happens. Um, that is going to be something that it will be interesting because as you guys, if you've been on my channel long enough, which is this channel basically, you know that when I do live reaction. I don't. There's no sugarcoating it. There's no time think. It's the initial reaction, initial instinct. This is what it is, and that's what we go with. So my best videos, most controversial videos, have been on that. I think for this particular channel, with John and I at the helm doing this thing, I think that it'll be just as controversial as the other ones would be. Yeah, so the Will Fuller pick, the Jadeveon Clowney pick, and the Deshaun Watson pick. Those three React videos got a lot of run. As a matter of fact, a lot of hate as well. So, we're speaking of Jadeveon Clowney. As the title says, we're going to talk about him. I got some personal questions for people who come in the chat. So, we'll see what happens. What's going on? We got no one really chatting it up right now, except for Rudy Rosales. It'd be cool. Let me know when. Yeah, man. We'll let you guys know. Like I said, we still got to hash out the details as far as what we want to do, where we want to be. That way we can give you guys the accurate information. If you do come out, man, come out and just have a good time, man. We're not out to get into heated debates and shit like that because I know how some of you fools can get. So with me personally, just it'll be pretty interesting because on one hand, because John and I didn't get to the Super Bowl thing. That'll be the first time we'll actually meet, which will be interesting in person. So, we'll sit down, we'll chop it up, man. We'll have a few brews if you're into that kind of thing. Get some food, and then we'll watch the Texans either dismantle this team or improve it. At this point, I'd say dismantle is more of the apropos word, considering what they're doing. I'll go over the Clowney thing, but I know everyone knows I'm not a very big component of Clowney, but the way it's looking, we're going to end up losing him for nothing, man. It's just the writing's on the wall. There's new rumors out from the meetings in Arizona about the Clowney issue. To me, I honestly think it's probably just we're probably gonna lose him, and we're gonna lose him probably for nothing. The rumor is, I'll just go ahead and address it now. So, I mean, we got enough people. We'll just go with it, man. And just as soon as people file in, we'll go from there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the draft. We actually have picks this year. We actually have needs, and I think I think how the draft board is going to fall, unlike most years, because you really can't predict where it's going to fall at. But I mean, in all honesty, man, there's the way it's looking, the board might fall a little more projected than normal, in my personal opinion. Chris Silva, what's going on, man? So. So let's just get into it. I'll leave the Matt Khalil thing because I want to get John's opinion on it because I already kind of know how John feels about the Clowney rumors and stuff like that, and I'll just address it right now, man. If you're in here, make sure you leave a like or dislike. Just it's like Hancho says, it don't cost nothing to click a button and no skin off your back or nothing like that, but. With the Clowney situation, man, the rumors that are coming out is that Houston at this point is ready to move on from Jadeveon Clowney. If he'll sign a 10-year, they'll trade him. That's the rumor. It was broke by some gentleman named. Give me a second, I can tell you. I think his name is. Oh my God, I just had his name, bro. Chad Forbes. I don't know who Chad Forbes is, but that's the rumor that was going around all over the place. And it's not just that particular person, but a lot of people are, are saying that's the case. But when it comes to Clowney, man, you guys know I think Clowney's highly overrated. I think he is a good player. He's definitely an above-average player. I think he can be a game record when he wants to be, and then that's kind of my problem. He plays when he wants to play. He doesn't play like an all out like a JJ does and stuff like that. And anyone who's played football knows that you have people like that on your team. You have people that are so gifted and so talented that they don't have to really work at. That they don't have to really do much to be above average at whatever craft they decide to do. In particular with sports, that's in any sport, baseball, football. Believe it or not, there are people out there that are just athletically gifted to where they don't have to work on stuff like that. But I think with that grace and that given ability to be such an athletic nightmare for people, it comes with it with the stigma of being kind of lazy in a sense. You know what I mean? People always want to say, well, he doesn't show up. He doesn't show up when he wants to. Well, it's obvious in his play. There are some games where he shows up, and there's some games where he's not. If Jadeveon Clowney is such an elite player, then why during the Indianapolis playoff game did he not do a damn thing? He didn't do nothing, man. Neither did JJ. I mean, really, no one did nothing. But Clowney's supposed to be this world beater, athletic freak that everyone always defends him, and he didn't do shit. He didn't do anything. It wasn't because he was double teamed the whole time or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I specifically remember Quentin Nelson putting him on his ass 2 different times on single blocking coverage. So don't start sitting here saying, oh well, he wrecks the game. Yes, he does when he decides he wants to show up. That's the issue. That's the issue that I've had with him since the beginning of when he started. I've never said he's not an athletically gifted freak. I've never said that. As a matter of fact, I specifically said when we drafted him, this guy's got the gift to be better than JJ if he just wants to be. He doesn't want to be, man. He's content with where he's at. And now he thinks he deserves X, Y, Z money, and Houston's not giving it to him. And now that Houston's not giving it to him, they're losing out on his whatever production that we could get from him. I have no delusion that Duke Ejiofor or Whitney Merciless will make up for what Clowney can do on the field. So that'd be stupid for me to say. But at the same time, you can't sit here and tell me that Clowney is worth that kind of money. Not only that, you cannot sit here and tell me that you. Here's my question: if the Clowney thing was on the table for anyone to go get him, we would have already heard something about it by now. Think about it. All the big trades, all the big people are looking. Think about any big ass name player that's out there as far as free agent. Hell, you heard shit about Flowers before he signed. Do you see what I'm saying? No one's showing interest in this guy. Teams are not interested in this guy. And if they are, they're trying to lowball Houston. And Houston, and I'm not even saying Gain's doing the right thing, because in all honesty, at this point, Gain, if you don't take what's given to you, you're probably going to lose him for jack shit. And then Houston fans will really be pissed off, man. And that's kind of my point. It's what hindsight's 20/20, but you got to be a little bit prophetic. You got to be a little bit of a soothsayer. You got to be a little bit of a Miss Cleo, if you will. You got to actually go in there and say, hey, okay, we've been asking around about Clowney. No one's really biting. Clowney's not really wanting to come back, and we're definitely not wanting to pay him. So we may have to just settle for that one first rounder, or like a second and a fourth, or something that most Texas fans will probably even be pissed at if we even trade Clowney. But here's the back end of it, the backside of the coin that I wish everyone would take a look at, man. Jadeveon Clowney, real simple, is a gifted athlete. He has potential to be great. Is he great right now? No. To me, he's above average at best. At best, if he just hones his pass rushing skills, plays every single snap, every single down, like he's his last, he may be one of the best defenders that ever lives. But that's the problem. And I can't sit here and justify, and I'm so sick of everyone defending his ass. Well, who else would you have if he leaves? Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter who we have when he leaves. It's a matter of we didn't do this right. We gave him a contract. He thought it was a slap in the face. And I guarantee it's over two things: the highest paid contract for any defender ever in NFL history, and guaranteed money. Other than that, if it was something simpler than that, I think he would have already been signed. But I cannot sit here and justify retaining this man. Here's the thing: even if we don't trade him, he's going to sit out. We franchise tagged him already. We've already tagged him. So he'll sit out. So now you got the whole year with a guy that you're paying an assload of money to that doesn't even want to play. Where's the sense in that? And then he's probably going to end up walking anyways. And so when it comes to the whole Clowney situation, man, I've said it from the beginning, and I don't want to have anything to do with this guy. And I said it when we drafted him. I said, "Yo, that's great." And this guy, he's got the gift for sure, and he's making plays. But what's going to happen when his contract is due? Is he going to be the kind of guy that sits out, or is he going to be the kind of guy that's going to try to get his money, but not at a ridiculous cost? Well, guess what? I'll be damned if I wouldn't right again. I love being right, man. Being right when it comes to certain things, and I've been completely 100% right about him this entire time. So Danny, he's here. He's just doing something right now. So he'll pop in here in a second, man. And what's up, everyone that I haven't got to? But as far as the Clowney thing is, guys, get it through your head. Clowney is no longer a Texan. Clowney is not here. He's gone. He's gone, dude. He's not here. Whether it be via trade, him sitting out, whatever the case may be, they don't see eye to eye, and they're not even close from what I understand. He's gone. Clowney's gone. I hope you enjoyed the 1 year of JJ and Clowney. Because it was 1 year where you got both of them on the field almost every game. Or actually, it was every game, honestly. That was it. Out of that whole speculation, wait till JD and Clowney, man, wait till they get back. Oh my God, it'll be the best defense ever. And I was one of them fools. Guess what? We got 1 fucking year of it. Houston screwed up and Gaines screwed up on how they negotiated the contract. Clowney is basically, he's wanting to get paid, but he's not wanting to play ball with them. It's pretty simple with the negotiation skills. The club comes at you with X amount. You have an expectation of Y amount. Neither one of you are even close. So y'all try to find a middle ground. Try to make them come up a little bit and you can come down a little bit. That's how negotiations work in the business world, because this is a business. So that's how this works. I don't think any bit of this has anything to do other than Clowney wants more money and he wants the highest paid contract ever for a defender. I really think it's that simple. And he's not worth it. He's not worth it. I'm sorry. He's just not. Now we got JJ's asses getting older. He's probably got 2 or 3 years left in him. I mean, like, I got to be honest with you. I'm starting to. I think I finally understand why Sauce Sports and myself, and I think Honcho even said this the other day on his stream. I feel like we're in rebuild mode. Does anyone else feel like that? I feel like we're rebuilding. We're losing pieces. We're not really retaining more. And then what we do retain is sketch at best. And it's usually injury-ridden players. Like, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, the Henderson signing last year, the player was kind of injured. Honey Badger had actually kind of a history of injuries, if you really want me to be honest with you, before we signed him. I mean, like, go down the list. Everyone we signed has an injury. Well, I mean, okay, look, I get it's football and everyone's gonna be injured every now and then, but has a multiple history of being hurt, and then really not amounting to what they were drafted as. Look, Bradley Roby's drafted as a first rounder. He hasn't been shit his entire career. Let's just be honest. Matt Khalil was drafted. He played 1 Pro Bowl, and that was it. And ever since then, he's been a complete bust. This guy was supposed to be the next Orlando Pace. When he was coming out, I specifically remember them talking about this guy. I specifically remember talking about how this guy is shit. It's because he's just lazy. He's lazy. He leans too much. But this is where we're at, man. This is where we're at with the whole Clowney situation, man. And let me read some of your chats real quick while I wait for John to get in here. Khalil did not get paid $140 million. You're just don't be dumb, Danny. At least he's not leaving. You mean Clowney? Let's get something straight. Clowney's a man, right? And he's got ties here. He's got friends here. You know, he's got his own place here, probably. You know what I mean? Like, not a lot of people want to just up and move all the time. Some people are very comfortable with where they're at. But other people want to have their cake and eat it too. That means he wants his money, plus he wants to have all the benefits of everything else. I don't think he is leaving on good terms, if you want me to be honest with you. And I think as soon as he gets to his next team, he's going to open his mouth about how shitty this franchise is. I can't. I mean, and it's his right, and I don't blame him. I would be too. Look, man, you mean this is what I expected? You didn't will and deal with me? Well, now I'm going to trash you. I mean, to me, I hope he'd take the high road, and maybe he will, but I don't know, man. If it was me, I'd talk a lot of shit. And if it was me, I'd go sign to the Colts, not because of where they're located, not because of Andrew Luck, but because they have the money to give me the kind of money I want, and I get to play your punk asses twice a year and shove it in your ass. Yeah, that would probably be what if I was in Klein Series, that's what I would do. I would go to a rival and I would destroy you for 2 years straight, 2 games every year. Let's see. I think we are. What do you think, Tito? What do you mean you think you are? Oh, rebuild mode? Yeah, man. It feels like it. It really does. Like we're just losing pieces left and right, and we're not really reloading. And again, the draft hasn't happened, but I mean, let's be honest with you. Is there anyone in this draft that you think can play at Clowney's level? I mean, let's be honest. I don't think there is. Maybe Williams from Alabama, maybe. I don't know, man. Brett Collerman did a great video on Quinn Williams, man. I need to go check that out. Transition to the defensive team. I don't know, man. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Gaines trying to get rid of all the Rick Smith guys, man. That's a great way of putting it. If you think about it, that's kind of how this feels right now. I don't know, man. It's just Gain. Look, it's a smart. Okay, Gain is smart as far with the contract as far as the 1-year deal thing for people who need to prove themselves. But here's my question: if they prove themselves to be a viable asset, is he going to re-sign them or just let them go? That's the question. That's why everyone's pissed off about the 1-year deals, because even if they show out, ball out, or whatever the case may be, we don't know whether we're going to be retaining them or not, man. I don't know. I don't know yet because I don't have enough on Gaines to make that complete assumption. But based on his history thus far, I don't know. Oh, it's a John sighting. We have a John sighting, ladies and gentlemen. John is in the house.
Sorry, guys. I have some stuff I needed to take care of, but
do your intro, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't really need to do the intro. Everyone in here already knows what this is. But I've been listening to the show. Well, I was doing what I was doing, and I I agree with you. We're gonna lose Clowney for absolutely nothing. And if we do trade him, it'll be for scraps. It'll be for complete garbage. Like, you might as well have just released him because there was no point in doing the trade.
Exactly. Just no one look. And again, it'll come to me. It comes to this: if they're reaching out to people, as big as the name as Clowney is, he's arguably one of the best free agents, quote unquote, on the market, if you will. So you'll have to trade to put the tenure on him. No, if someone thought if Clowney is what you guys or Clowney fans believe he is, if I was if other GMs thought, yeah, he's definitely worth 2 first rounders. Oh my God, yeah, let's go ahead and scoop this up. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. No one's done it. No one has done it. There hasn't even been rumors of it. So we can sit here and speculate. Well, maybe who's to say they haven't been shopping him? Bullshit. When they put that tag on him and did the first trade for him for 2 first rounders, what do you call that? That's an open invitation, and no one's biting. No one is. Clowney doesn't want to go this way. Game doesn't want to go that way. Boom, they go apart, and no one is seeing what you guys are seeing on Jadeveon Clowney. No one's willing to put that up. That's what I'm trying to get through all stickheads. If someone thought he was this elite guy that you make him out to be, if on a different defense, if he played a different defense, if he was just a hand in the ground type of guy, which I tend to agree with, but no one seems to think that's who he is. And that is the point. It's what I keep trying to tell all of you. No one believes that's who he is, because if they did, he would have already been scooped up. What overwhelming professional athlete that's ever been on the market, ever in NFL history, have you not heard rumors about before the action is done? Name me one. Other than Clowney. Name me one and I'll wait.
Let me see in the chat. Chris Silva. Remember, last year the Rams tried trading for him, but we didn't hear about it till early to mid-season. Maybe there is something in the works. The thing about them trading for... the Rams offered 2 first-round picks. Yeah, they should have taken that. The thing about trading Clowney is we have absolutely no leverage in any trade scenario, because either way, he's eventually going to walk. So we have no leverage to ask for anything really big in a trade. None whatsoever. Like,
we have no leverage, man.
The Texans have screwed themselves into a corner with this. So, I don't know.
It's just, I mean, they're going to end up I'm telling you guys, look, man, he's gone. He's gone. He's not coming back here. He played his last game at home and got trounced by Indianapolis. He's gone. He's gone, dude. He's gone. He's not coming back. Get it through your heads. He's gone. And when he goes away, and I don't want to hear none of y'all coming here crying, oh, why did he leave? Well, we've been telling you. We've been telling you why he's left. Give me a break, man.
Yeah, what's up, Honcho? So we draft a linebacker now? Honestly, I would not be surprised if first round is pass rusher or secondary.
Yeah, I honestly, I've come to the conclusion that with the way Gain is moving pieces, I honestly think O-line's not even going to be a priority.
Yeah.
At the first pick. I really don't. I think they'll pick the best defender available at that pick.
Gain's mindset is probably, we got Matt Khalil, we're good.
Hey, great segue. Speaking of which, the details of Matt Khalil, 1 year, $7.5 million. For a guy who Bill O'Brien went on the record saying, oh, he could start at left tackle.
Translation, there's your starting left tackle next season.
Exactly. Davenport, off. Davenport, he's either being moved to the right side or he's the new Lamb. He's the new swing tackle. And that is unfortunate because now he'll never develop.
Yep.
Never. I'm telling you right now that is exactly what is going on, dude. 7.5 mil for a guy who was injured all last season, who has been underwhelming his entire career, to the point to where Carolina's like, yeah, we don't need him. And Carolina needs linemen. Just so you guys know, their line is all that great neither. Yeah, I mean, they got not Norwell. They got Williams. They got him to resign. That's about it. They don't really got nobody either. So the fact that they let a left tackle, quote unquote, go, who supposedly could start for the come on, man, read between the lines, bro.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I don't have any high expectations for these guys in the draft. I don't have high expectations for these guys next season. I mean, like we did, I think we talked about it last week on our last episode. We looked through the schedule.
Yeah.
The competition compared to last season is ridiculously higher. So you're going to have like a spectacular season to finish above 500. This team is not finishing above 500 next season.
No.
They're not. Unless they make some spectacular free agency / draft moves and Bill O'Brien gets his head out of his ass. And I'm still willing to admit, if next season Bill comes out and you start seeing a lot more plays like you did in Deshaun's rookie season, because I fully admit it is 100% possible that he tuned it down last season because Deshaun might have been hurt the entire season because he had the lung issue. He might just be keeping stuff under wraps. I don't know. He opened up the playbook a few times, especially during that Eagles game. I don't know. But that's still a possibility. But from what I saw last season coaching-wise to what I'm seeing now free agency-wise and personnel-wise, who they're signing, who they let go, who they brought in to replace those guys, it's not looking good. Not at all.
No. I have a question for the people in the chat. Do you think that Julian Love, corner from Notre Dame, and let's see, what was the other one I was looking at a minute ago? Oh, and Caleb McGarry, the offensive tackle from Washington. Do you think that this guy's fall to the second round to us? I want your opinion on that because I'm kind of skewed. I don't think Love will make it. I think McGarry will, but I don't think Love will. But I want you guys' opinion on that because I found a mock draft today that I kind of want to go over real quick on who they drafted.
When's the draft? What's the date of the draft?
25th
of April, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Man, it's coming up quick.
Yeah, less than a month, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Less than a month until I tear my freaking hair out.
Yeah. So, the draft that I'm speaking about is from DraftWire, and I go through all the mock drafts and I just see what NFL.com, Walter Campbell Football, DraftWire, even the Texans.com, see what old dumbass Vandermeer and Butt Chin Nugget, John McClain, what their picks are. Like, I just like seeing how different everyone's mock drafts are. For the most part, for some teams, it's usually consistent. And I love mock drafts just because it kind of gives me an idea of what people think the Texans need versus what we actually do fucking need. Like, for an example, I saw a mock draft. Oh man, it was. I think it was Draft Tech, Draft TEK, Draft Tech, something like that. And they had us taking Montez Sweat at 23. And I went, what? But if you think about it, if he does fall to 23, which I don't think he will, if he falls to 23, there's a great possibility that is the guy we take. He's an athletic freak. He's long. He's fast. He just doesn't have great technique. But he could take the place of Jadeveon Clowney. And just because you know how game is with a long athletic freak type. So just put that in perspective. Also, almost every mock draft had us taking a corner. I would say about a week ago. Now every mock draft has us taking an offensive lineman. It's seemingly almost every off. I don't think that's the case, guys. I really don't. I honestly think that the Texans are, unfortunately, I think the Texans are set with their offensive line. I think they draft one or two guys in the third, fourth, or fifth round. I think they're going to be project guys. I don't think they're going to be any of the guys that I wanted to talk to. Ironically enough, for whatever reason on these mock drafts, I keep seeing Chris Lindstrom fall to the 47th pick in the second round. If that happens, that is a travesty because he's one of the best offensive linemen in this class. Without a doubt, hands down, dude. I don't understand what they don't see in this guy. Okay, let me put it this way: he's Quentin Nelson without the Mauler strength. That's the best way I could put it. His technique is sound. The whole Clemson game, if BC played Clemson, he dominated basically a pro front on the defensive side of Clemson's. I don't understand what else you need to see. He showed up at the Senior Bowl and looked badass. He dominated Clemson during the season, like real play, not Senior Bowls. He looked good at the combine. What else? What are y'all not seeing? What are they not seeing that I don't know? He's not injury prone. He started for 4 years. What am I missing, dude? This guy always seemingly is dropping the second round. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it, man. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. I saw a name. Okay. Hey, how about this, John? I'm going to ask you the same question. You may not have an answer, but I'm going to ask it. But I'm going to answer my own question for those guys who are curious. The three guys. What are the top three guys that you do not want to see at number 23? I see two of the names already in the chat.
Let me look through the chat and see.
I see two of them already, and I'll give you my third on a different topic. I want to see what you say.
I want to find the ones in the chat. I'm going to go greedy. Dillard. You don't like Dillard, do you?
Oh, no. Dillard is my favorite offensive lineman in this draft.
Oh, okay.
Dillard.
No, wait.
Dillard,
then who's the one that everyone keeps projecting?
Ford. Fucking Ford.
Yeah, there we go.
Fucking
Ford.
Cody Ford from Oklahoma. That is my number one.
Oh, okay, wait. Tato in the chat, I think, has two of them right off the bat.
Who?
Ford, Greg Little, and I don't know about the last one, Baker.
No. Okay. Okay. So Ford is the number one I don't want. Out of everyone in this draft, that is the one guy I don't want, which means they'll probably fucking draft him.
Yeah.
That's the one guy. Out of everyone in the draft, that's the one guy I don't want. Out of everyone. I would rather go with Roll Central Henderson than with him. That's how much I think about this guy. I'm telling you right now, he is not even in the same ilk as even an Orlando Brown. And that's saying something. Even though Orlando Brown had a good year. But, dude, man. Oh, by the way, there's a good Orlando Brown story about him and his dad and the Ravens. I think it was on NFL Access. Man, it was good. It was a good story, man. It was a killer story. But the three guys that I don't want in any way, shape, or form at 23, Cody Ford, Greedy Williams. I don't want him. I don't want. I don't want him and Jonah. Greedy Williams. I don't want Greedy and I don't want Jonah. I don't want any of them. I would take a chance with Little. I got no problem with that. I think he needs to work on some things, but he's got the talent to do it. I think he's got kind of a Jadeveon Clowney syndrome. I think he plays when he wants to play, but when he plays, he dominates. He's pretty good. And not only that, but I think someone's actually going to take a chance on Little before he gets to us, if you want me to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Just because of his measurables, honestly. But no, I do not want to see Ford. I do not want to see Ford. I do not want to see Greedy, and I don't want to see Jonah. I don't want to see any of those three. If any of those three, they're in my live mock or during our live draft coverage gets picked, you're going to see a very, very pissed off Ray Ray. I'm talking Will Fuller pissed off Ray Ray. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad.
Before I ask you this next question about the draft, 18 watching right now. On my screen, it doesn't show any likes or any dislikes. If you're watching, hit the like button or the dislike button. It don't matter. Hit one of them. Who in the draft would you say, if we draft him, you just be like, okay, not pissed, not overly ecstatic, but you just be like, all right.
Baker from Georgia, corner from Georgia. I would not want it. For the record, you guys, I don't know if you understand. Rocky Sin is the best corner in this draft. And I have no doubt about it in my mind. No doubt in my mind at all. The only thing he doesn't do extremely well is tackle. I don't need him to tackle. But his man coverage, if I had to put a grade on it, is probably like an A-. His press is probably like a B+. His zone is a B+. He played a lot of he played a lot of multiple defenses at Temple. And to me, what I saw at the Senior Bowl and what I saw at the Combine only proves he's fluid in the hips, he's quick twitch, and he's got the gift to find the ball. I think Rocky Sin is the best corner in this draft. Over Greedy, over Baker, I don't care what anyone says. I've done my homework already. So, but I'll probably say Baker. I don't dislike Baker. I just think Baker sometimes looks really lost. Like his awareness is not where I thought it would be when watching tape on him. But if they got him, I wouldn't be upset. Actually, I would probably put Montez Sweat up there as well. If Sweat dropped and somehow dropped us and we picked him up, as I always say, you can never have enough pass rushers in this league. There are other things that I'd like to be addressed, of course, but I'm not the owner or the GM of the Texans, unfortunately. So that's who I would say. I would be like, okay, well, I can kind of ride with that.
So is there any other Texans news you wanted to touch on before we move on to the Astros?
I don't know, man. Is there any other questions in here?
Well, let's see in the chat if you got any. And then,
Devin White will not come here. We have a good linebacker core already. We don't need a project linebacker. That's stupid.
And then Danny asked, when are we getting to the food part? That was a big hit last time.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe at the end.
Hold on, Web Badass. I'm going to address you. Greedy thinks he's good, and he's not. Greedy's the kind of guy that'll make a great play and then get a flag for taunting right after he made a great play. He's that kind of guy. I don't want that guy. He's the kind of guy that will bitch about all of his teammates except for what he's doing. He's the kind of guy, and I have evidence of this shit. Go watch the Ole Miss game when he was going up against DK. That's all I got to tell you. You'll see it. Flags, unsportsmanlike conduct. Flags, he's too handsy. He's too handsy. I think he relies too much on his length. I honestly think he's not. He's very stiff in the hips for a corner that's supposed to be as elite as this guy. He's pretty stiff in his hips, man. And for a corner, that spells bad news all the way around. I mean, think about it. How about this? I'll give you a comparison. Kareem Jackson coming out was highly touted, just like Greedy. The knock on him was he had stiff hips. He was good in zone coverage. He's a great tackler, but his man coverage was real shit. Well, guess what? His man coverage is real shit. But he's a great. That's why when he played safety or anything like that, he performed better because everything was in front of him. He didn't have to play catch up. Kareem Jackson, let's just be honest. Kareem Jackson, for as long as he was here, and I appreciate his service to our team, but he only had one really good year if you think about it at corner. And this year, you couldn't even really put it at corner because he put. As a matter of fact, he was kicking ass as safety before they moved him back to corner because of injuries. I mean, so do the math. So I think Williams is a lot like that, man. I really do.
Before we move on, who is watching the Cougars? I don't even watch college basketball that much, but I'm pulling for them. I mean, shit, they're a Houston team, Final 16.
I pull for any H-Town team, man. Seriously.
Yeah, they've been fun to watch. It could be
Texas Southern. I don't care. It could be Rice, Texas Southern. I'm pulling for them, man.
Yeah.
Go do your thing, man.
They've been fun to watch. I can't. I'm actually pretty excited for the game Friday, and I don't even watch college basketball like religiously like I do everything else. So If y'all are watching the Cougars in the tournament, let us know in the chat. So big news for Astros back to back. Like I was, to be honest, I was pretty underwhelmed with their offseason so far. But it doesn't fully make up for it, obviously, because I really had my heart set on Real Muto. Like, really, I was just dead set.
Yeah, that one hurt out of all the things.
But the Astros re-signed Bregman to a 5-year, $100 million contract. Now, this is a big win for the Astros as an organization, and here's why. Bregman came out bitching a few, was it weeks ago? Maybe just several days ago? I don't know. I lost track of time. But he basically was talking about, I don't feel wanted and this and that. And I actually shit on him a bit on the show because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm very thankful he did it now. Because this deal is a steal. This kid is, 24 right now? You got him on a 5-year deal for only $100 million. I promise you this guy's a future MVP. I mean, that's a steal for the potential this guy has. That is a steal of a contract right there. So, Bregman, I don't want to say he dug his own grave on this one because it's a fucking $100 million contract. Come on. That's
right.
That's awesome.
And that's fully guaranteed.
Exactly. But he could have made so much more. I mean, if he would have had just a ball-out season this next season, he could have demanded for such a higher contract. But this whole situation with him complaining about feeling like he didn't feel wanted by Houston or by the Astros organization, I mean, this was the best thing that could have happened for the Astros. I mean, you in the long run saved hundreds of millions on this deal. And, before we move on to the next re-signing, give me your thoughts on the Astros re-signing Bregman.
It's really nice to see a GM who re-signs before the end of their contract is up.
Yeah.
And does it right. And does it the right way. And bring it – look – basically, with Luna, one of my star players is bitching. Why is he bitching? Let me go investigate. Oh, you know what? Okay, man, but here's what we'll do. We'll extend you for 5 years at $100 million. How's that sound? And Bregman scooped it up. To me, that shows a GM that knows his players and cares about his players and cares about the product that he puts on the field. And then going into what you're going to say next about Verlander, they re-signed Verlander for $22 million for 2 years, something like that.
It was a 3-year deal. Let me see what it was worth. $28 million.
Yeah. So I mean, again,
$108 million. 28's in the final year. So
yeah. So basically, what they did is they said, okay, well, Verlander, we don't want to let him hit the open market. There's a great possibility that Garrett Cole next year will be probably the highest sought free agent out on the market, and is going to demand Clayton Kershaw type money.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. So we may not retain Cole. He may be too much for us. So let's go ahead and solidify our ace. Let's bring him here. Let's let him finish, at least try to finish his career here. So in other words, and again, it's the same thing what I was saying. It's a good GM knowing his players and doing the right thing by his players versus what you see on the fucking Texans. Look, you can take Morey, for example. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I am a Rockets fan, but I'm not a big basketball fan. But what I can say, what I do see is every year Morey, the general manager, does what he can to make this team better. And if it doesn't work, he goes back and does something else. If it doesn't work, he goes back and picks someone else off of a cut or off of a release. Or I don't know much about the whole basketball free agency stuff like that, but I do know enough to know that I see the Rockets making moves constantly. And the Astros making moves constantly. I don't see the Texans making moves constantly, and that's kind of the point.
And they're a team that you can at least say what you want about how competitive the Rockets are against the Warriors in the conference finals. They're in the conference finals almost every season now, so that's a team that is relevant every season at the very minimum.
You know how much the Pelicans would kill to have that kind of relevantism. I mean, let's just be honest. And again, not a big basketball fan, just not, dude. But at the same time, I can recognize when someone's doing something to enhance their product. And it's a sports team in the city of Houston. So, like I said, I'll ride for any Houston team.
Yeah.
Because I'm an H-Town guy. So.
Also, this is okay. Well, let me just touch on one more thing before we move on to the last thing I wanted to talk about. So, based on your last comments, I'm assuming you don't think that we're gonna retain Cole. So,
dude, he's gonna want Kershaw money.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna come out of pocket for that.
I doubt it as well. So for now, I mean, between the two guys that you're gonna have coming up soon before anyone, because you got Altuve basically for the rest of how long he's gonna be good. You have now Bregman. I mean, for probably about till he starts hitting his prime, really.
Right.
And the next two guys you're gonna have to worry about are Correa and Springer. So between the two, looking long term, who would you prefer to retain? Because last season, even though everyone's calling Correa the next, big guy at shortstop, I mean, he was a real letdown last season. So at this point, I'd rather retain Springer because at least that guy shows up in the playoffs.
Right. That's a great question, man.
It's just tough because it was such a disappointing season from him last year.
He's having a decent spring training so far. Correa's having a pretty decent spring training.
But it looks like he's going to be injury riddled again. He's already scratched from the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah.
And is that official? Is he not playing for sure? Is that 100%?
It's not official.
Okay.
Not yet.
But it's doubtful. He's doubtful.
But to me, you're not just playing because Springer shows up in the playoffs. You're playing because, to me, I think Springer is the glue that holds that whole room, I can't say locker room, can I?
Yeah, I mean,
I can say locker room. He holds that team together. So they're always, you look when you see him doing their antics in the dugout and all this other stuff. Somebody hits a home run, he's the first one out of the dugout. Man.
Yeah,
he's always pumped up. He's always fired up. To me, he is an emotional leader, but he also comes clutch.
Clubhouse. There we go, Berkeley. Clubhouse. There you go.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you, Berkeley Paul. But I think, to me, I just feel like I feel like he is the glue that holds it all together.
Yeah.
I think if he goes, a lot of the antics and stuff will go, and it won't be nearly as cohesive as it is or as it seems. I mean, you got to think the Astros team that we're watching over the last, now I'll say 3 or 4 years now. It all started when Springer and Altuve. They started. You see, like I said, you see them in the dugout and they do that bullpen, that dugout stare. The camera after someone hits a home run. That shit that was not going on in the Houston dugout before they got there. Yeah, granted, because they were losing 100 games a year, but nonetheless, there was no one willing to take that step with them. Like Carlos Lee wasn't doing that shit. He was supposed to be the leader of the Astros before they hit their downfall. You had a little bit of that with Pence, and then you traded his ass away with Hunter Pence. It just seems like if that's a guy that you're going to retain, you're retaining him for more than just what he does on the field. You're doing it for what he does as far as picking that team up. Because Springer's the kind of guy that, in my opinion, when he's out of that bat, I feel like he can do anything at that at bat.
Yeah.
I mean, I have more faith in Bregman, Altuve, and Springer than I would say a lot of the Astros that in the past, and I'd actually put them up there with almost as clutch as Biggio ever was. And Biggio was really never that clutch. Bagwell damn near laid a goose egg in every playoff game or every playoff series he ever had. Jeff Bagwell is non-existent, and he's a Houston legend. He's a Hall of Famer. Houston Hall of Famer, the guys, what they got going on right now, you don't see on baseball teams very often, and it's a smart move. Correa, to me, is a liability at this particular point. I would hate to lose him because I think he's got a really talented future.
Yeah. But
I also think he could be like, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Jared Kozar?
Mm-mm.
He was a pitcher for the Astros for a couple seasons from League City, actually. Right down the street from me, from League City, Texas. Played at Clear Creek High School. Astros, basically, he was going to be the next big thing pitcher, and this was before he got in trouble, I might add. But he showed promise. He was going to be the ace of the future because Roy Oswalt was on his way out um, he, before he took off, and he had one decent season, and then kind of faltered. Kind of fell off. He got injured, then he got in trouble. I mean, Jared Cozart was going to be a great pitcher for this team for years to come, man. But but it didn't happen, and I feel like that's what Correa is at this particular point. I'll tell you this: if you asked me to go back and say who would you rather draft, Correa or Chris Bryant, I'd say Chris Bryant, and I wouldn't look back.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. So.
Okay, so we're nearing the final 15 minutes of the show, and I think from now on, just to kind of give it a little more structure, we'll try and do just kind of like a shooting the shit segment the last 15 minutes. So anything you guys want to talk about in the chat, just bring it up. Sports related, non-sports related, whatever. Just
What were you gonna bring up? You had one more thing you were gonna bring up, right?
no, I think it was the last thing was the Correa thing.
Okay.
But yeah, whatever you guys want to talk about. Let me ask you, I know James probably hasn't watched since like the 80s or 90s, but anyone excited for WrestleMania? Anyone? Let me know. Any wrestling fans in the chat? Ray, when's the last time you watched wrestling? I got to be accurate on the 90s hit right there.
No, I was Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of the Attitude Era, so 2000s.
Oh, okay. So like early 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can tell you this, when I actually remember the very last episode I watched of wrestling.
Oh, really?
It was the dumbest damn thing. It actually what got me off of wrestling, honestly.
Oh shit.
Is when Triple H was made like GM or when they put him as like the head honcho or whatever. It was that episode where they revealed. I after that, man. I was like, dude, come on, man. He's a freaking wrestler. And then he puts himself in the main events during WrestleMania and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bro. Like I mean, you're worse than Vince, man. Like, it's like, I couldn't. Yeah. When that happened, man, and because I was, man, my dudes were Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Like everyone else's.
Well, I think pretty much everyone from Texas, like, it's a guarantee you're gonna like Stone Cold and The Undertaker because they're from Texas.
Right.
I mean,
right.
And then if you're Hispanic, like myself, Eddie Guerrero is gonna be like God to you.
Well, a guy that you'll probably laugh at me, but I have many reasons because every time I watch him, he entertains me. Whether it's pissing me off playing the heel or playing the good babyface or whatever the case is. Yeah, I used them terms, man. No, but I'm actually a very big fan of Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is
he's awesome, man. He's still kicking it today.
Is he still doing it?
He is still one of the most relevant guys in the industry today at like almost 50, I'd assume.
I've never seen a wrestler be able to change the aura or change with the aura of whatever was going on in wrestling.
Yeah.
Again, if you needed him to be a heel, he'd be a heel. If you needed him to be a babyface, put over the top, he could do that too. And I'll never forget. One of my first favorite experiences is when he came back, and no one no one knew. It was just someone was coming back. Someone relevant was coming back because he left for a little bit, from what I understand. And when they did his little intro, and he turns around and it's like the whole thing goes black, and then you hear the song, and dude, I was just like, oh my god. Do you know that dude tried to do he's like a rock band guy? He's like he
has a band called.
I didn't even know that until the other day.
He has a band called Fozzy. They're not bad actually, if you're into like metal rock kind of stuff. But yeah. Ferocious says, nah, Rey Mysterio was the best Latino. Hell no, it was Eddie Guerrero. I mean, I'm not shitting on Rey Mysterio. He's awesome, but it's Eddie Guerrero all day.
Latino heat.
Exactly. Latino heat.
Eddie Guerrero.
Let me see. Let me read some.
What was the other one? Conan? Conan?
Oh, God. Conan. Yeah. Good God.
I was messing with those sagging like Jenko jeans and shit with the
They actually had. I'm pretty sure that you had stopped watching by this point, but they had like these three Hispanic or Mexican guys coming out on lawnmowers, the driving lawnmowers, and they were called the Mexi Cools.
Come on, bro. That's almost as bad as. Dude, okay, I saw. When did the gay tag team become relevant? What was that?
Oh, Chuck and Billy and Chuck, was it?
I don't know, dude.
They would wear the red.
The black dudes, the flamboyant black dudes, man.
Oh.
Like, what? I don't even know their name, man. But I was watching. I was like, dude, how do people like this?
The flamboyant black guys.
Yeah, they wore like pink and.
Oh, the New Day.
Is that what
they're not? They're not gay, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Gay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I didn't know. I was, what the? Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
That's a good perspective to get, though, from now a casual to just tune back in after all these years and see, like, what the fuck. Like, I remember I stopped watching from Attitude Era to, like, I was, like, in middle school, so I came back, and then Kane doesn't have a mask anymore, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what have they done?
Yeah, dude, like, the mystique of Kane not showing his face, I mean, he looks like a uber ugly fuck dude.
And now he's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. He's a politician.
Oh my god.
He's
Jesse the Body Ventura, basically.
No, he's better. He's like a libertarian.
Okay. Well, he's at least got that going.
Yeah. Oh, how have we not talked about? Well, it's not like this is a fighting podcast or anything, but Conor McGregor, did you see that? That he's got sexual assault allegations on him?
It doesn't shock me.
I mean, wow.
Look, man, us Irish fucks, dude, we're crazy.
Y'all are some crazy fuckers, man. Y'all need to keep it in the pants. No, but I mean, for like, I don't know how many hardcore MMA fans there are in the chat, but this is like, this guy has, in my opinion, really just like shit on the sport, like completely. Like the days of respect and I mean, this guy single-handedly, in my opinion, ruined the sport. The titles mean nothing. Everyone's about the shit talk and the making it kind of WWE-ish. I mean, it's just not the same anymore. It's a completely different culture of the sport. And yeah, it made it bigger, but I don't know, man. It's just everyone's trying to be Conor McGregor and no one's being themselves, and it's shitty.
Yeah, but how do you feel about it? It doesn't matter what you feel.
Danny's just chanting Foley, Foley, Foley.
Darren, what's going on, man? Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, look, I like Mick Foley too, man. To me, he's like the quintessential guy that spent his whole life trying to get to where he's at.
Yeah, man. That was a crazy motherfucker, dude. Jumping off cages and Texas death matches. The tax.
Oh my god.
The
tax and the nails. Oh my god, dude.
And then he did it again the next year with Triple H. I think he like put him through the cell ceiling and through the ring. Good lord.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing I ever saw was when Mark Henry in the Big Show off the top turnbuckle caved in the ring.
Was it Mark Henry in the Big Show, or was it?
Yeah, no, it's Mark Henry in the Big Show.
I thought it was Brock Lesnar.
No, it wasn't Brock Lesnar. I remember because Big Show cracks me up, dude, because he's a wannabe Andre Giant so big time it's not even funny. His whole career is a wannabe Andre Giant.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I know what all the white boys, it's gonna be really unpopular opinion, but the most overrated wrestler of all time, James. Let me get yours first. Who do you think's the most overrated wrestler of all time?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
What? I don't agree with that at all. Mine's, and I know I'm gonna get so much hate for it, Hulk Hogan.
Overrated. Overrated, yes, but you cannot deny what that man did for the
No,
sport.
no, 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 no. I'm not denying it at all. But I just don't see the appeal. And maybe it's just because I'm from a different era and I was born in the 90s.
Okay,
But
so I'll give you perspective. So back in the day, dude, there was no one his size.
yeah.
No, there's not many people his size. Like he was like Nephilim. If you don't know what that is, Google it.
Was he good looking for that time? I mean, the
Uh,
blonde hair.
yeah. Well, you gotta keep in mind back then, blonde hair and tan skin and a toned physique, you were like idolized.
Yeah.
Back in, especially in the '80s, dude, that was a big deal. Um, well, if you think I'm joking, take Brian Boswell
Mm-hmm.
is another classic example. I mean, he's not the greatest looking dude, but back in the day, dude, that guy was a chick magnet, man. And it just, but I think he's overrated as far as his skill set, absolutely. But as far as okay, to me, his wrestling is not real good, but everything else he does, his marketing himself, his character,
Yeah, yeah.
everything else though is what is it's almost unmatched. I would say probably the only one that's even come close to match him is a Rock.
I just don't understand how he connected with people the way he did because, and again, like I said, maybe it's just because I was born in a different era, but the whole drink your milk, take your vitamins, say your prayer, like that. I don't know. That's just like
Again, the all-American.
yeah, but it's very childish.
The Reagan years, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, to me, it's just very childish '80s kind of like, and I get it, different time.
It's not the popular view, especially in today's world, because
Yeah.
just be honest, most of our country's turning anti-American.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. I guess the guys that I really kind of resonated with when I was younger was like the anti-hero, like Stone Cold and.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Name a wrestler that not many people liked, but you specifically liked.
Not many. That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. I gotta. I would probably, and it was only because you said it earlier, the Big Show. Because say what you want about him, but the guy has been there consistently for what, 20, 30 years now?
Almost, yeah.
And he can flip. I think he said himself, he has more turns than NASCAR. He can play a heel or a baby face very well. And he can he's very believable. Either way he flips. So I wouldn't say that I'm like a huge Big Show fan and no one else is, but I appreciate him, I think, more than the average fan, I'd say.
Right.
Who would yours be?
Ferocious, you dick.
Val Venus!
Yeah, you dick, dude. That was mine, dude.
Hello,
Val Venus,
ladies.
Ladies.
Remember when he had that hermaphrodite just like obsessed with him?
Dude, yeah, Val Venus, but actually,
rest in peace, Nicole Bass. She passed away a few years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. But I gotta tell you this though, the one during the Generation X years is one of my favorites. Who do you think it was? You got 4 people to pick from, so you gotta make sure you.
But there were so many different generations of DX. There was the original with Rick Rude. So with Rick Rude, China, and Triple H. That's the original.
Well, no, okay. The one, okay, so
like Road Dogg, Billy Gunn,
like Road Dogg, X-Pac.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say your favorite of that bunch.
Yeah.
Was it Billy Gunn?
It was.
It was Billy Gunn. He was probably the most relatable of like the backseat of like the backseat DX guys. He was probably the most relatable one. What's going on, Jay Dizzle?
Nah, man. Hey, no, but yeah, I loved it. Billy Badass, dude.
The badass Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what. Oh man, I had a good one that I was gonna say, but I forgot it.
What's your favorite group?
Faction? You haven't.
Faction.
I don't think you watched when they were the Shield. With Roman Reigns, Dean
With
Ambrose, and
Roman
Seth
Reigns
Rollins.
and the
Yeah.
other, the two little dudes that look like they shouldn't even be wrestlers. Yeah,
Yeah.
those fags, dude. I'm good. Ooh, hey, you know what? I'm a DDT. I'm a DDP fan, man.
Oh, I love Diamond Dallas Page, and he's doing great things for
Yeah,
wrestlers
man.
today, man. DDP
Yeah.
Yoga, if you haven't checked that
Yeah.
out, definitely check it
Yeah, I
out.
watched the episode with him and Razor Ramon, dude. That
Yeah.
was insane.
Oh,
It's so
NWO.
awesome.
NWO was fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, I was like, I was either, man, to me, it's got to be either NWO or the Four Horsemen, man.
My dad was a big, well, he still is a big Scott Hall fan. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. The Razor's Edge, dude. That was crazy. I'll never forget it, dude. Gold Dust. Nah, dude. Nah, I can't do that, dude. I can't do Gold Dust, man. Nah, bro. Nah, man. Actually, his boy Cody Rhodes, you heard what's going on with him?
Yeah, AEW, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, NWO was pretty good. Rikishi. You remember that dude, the Worm?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Dude.
You know, I don't know if you know this, but so you remember the guy that was with him? It was Scotty Too Hottie and...
yeah, and the Worm. His name was like the Worm, wasn't it?
No,
he did the Worm?
It was Scotty Too Hottie and Grandmaster Sexay. Grandmaster Sexay is the son of Jerry the King Lawler, and Grandmaster Sexay actually killed himself like last year in a jail cell. I think he got arrested for like he's been arrested several times for DUI, and I think he like hung himself in his jail cell or something with his bed sheets. It was crazy.
Did you think the Ultimate Warrior was overrated?
Very much. Very much so. I think a lot of those 80s...
I think I finally disagree with you on that.
I think a lot of those 80s wrestlers were very overrated, but again, that's just because I'm like a different era. I'm spoiled. I grew up with Stone Cold, The Rock, DX, and now today they have some of the best in-ring guys ever. Back then they were just, let's be honest, they were guys on steroids who took cocaine before they came out and did a promo. That's what it was. That's what it was in the 80s.
I'll never forget one of my favorite matches of all time was the Ultimate Warrior. I think it was a handicap match. The Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Honky Tonk Man, and who was the other one? Lex Luger. I think that was, dude, because their specialties was all about who could, the gorilla press was like their special move, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got Ultimate Warrior and they're all pushing people up, like it was insane, dude. Buff Bagwell was another favorite of mine. I look, full disclosure, you guys are laughing your ass off of me. I wanted to look like Buff Bagwell.
Hey, wait. Okay, I have
look and everything, dude.
I have one I want to ask before we leave, but I want to address Danny's and I want your answer. How much would y'all ask for? I'm assuming he means money. How much money would you ask for if they told you the night before you had to get stink faced by Rikishi? I would need at least $100,000. At least.
Yeah, well, you gotta think about 10 of that, 10 grand of that's gonna go for your pink eye that you can get from that. Yeah, but man, honestly, I'd say about 150.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Okay, the last one that I'm gonna ask before we get out of here: should Chris Benoit be in the Hall of Fame?
No,
I agree.
Not for what he did. Absolutely not.
I don't understand the argument against.
What a coward of a person, man. I'm sorry. I don't care what he's going through.
I don't understand the argument against it though. Like how can you argue for it? I don't get it. Like what? How can you justify putting him in?
He wasn't even that great of a wrestler. I mean,
I disagree with that.
No. I mean, like as far as like the personality of a wrestler, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't bring butts to the seats. I remember when they put him over for a brief time, and then he lost it because it got so much bad publicity from it about because he didn't have a great personality.
Yeah. To
be the head of the company, you know what I mean, to be the heavyweight champion. But his wrestling. No, I misspoke. His wrestling was Scott Steiner type shit. Like, he's a collegiate wrestler. The guy could wrestle with anybody. That, and I absolutely hated his multi-suplex bullshit. I hated that. His crippler crossface though was badass. I like that.
Yeah, that was. What a ironic name for a move.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll end on that sour note. James, is there anything you wanted to plug before we get out?
No, man. You know what? Actually, I don't have anything this time.
Okay.
Is Big Ben a Hall of Famer? No, not in my opinion.
I'd have to think about that one. I don't know.
I'll put him right up there with Eli Manning. No.
You don't think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna write this.
He's had more bad years.
I'm gonna write this down.
He's had more bad years than he's had good years. Just because he's won a couple of Super Bowls, you got to think about it. The catch that they won the Super Bowl on, that was a horrible throw on his part. That was an excellent play by his receiver. He had the pieces around him. He's like the quintessential game manager. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna write this one down, and we're gonna have to talk about it at length in the next episode. Should China be in the Hall of Fame? She's going in this year with DX, but she's still going in. Okay, well, I have some things to plug, and this will be a regular plug, so get used to it. We'll be doing shows Wednesday, 8:30 to 10 p.m. Sundays will be 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Like us on Facebook. Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter. You can read my articles and check out the HempWorks oil that we got. All of it's in the description. All the links are in the description, so go check that out. And yeah, that's it. We got some stuff in the works, like I said. We'll be looking, look out for the J&J line. We're working on that right now. Like Ray said, we're going to be doing a live episode together in the same room for the draft. So we're going to hash out the details for that, but we're going to be doing it. So yeah, and Astro baseball tomorrow, guys. We're going to have a lot to talk about come Sunday. And hopefully it's good things to talk about, because I don't think I can handle another disappointing Houston season for any sport. So, yeah. So until next time, guys, we'll see you.
Later.